The celestial nexus orbited the neutron star Kepler-22, a station where gravity itself bent to the will of draconian engineering. Adem wiped down Table 47 for the third time that cycle, his magnetic boots keeping him anchored to the observation deck's floor. Through the reinforced transparisteel, the star's accretion disk swirled like liquid fire. Another double shift, he muttered, checking his neural implant. 16 hours serving the galaxy's elite while his student debt compounded at 8% annually. Earth's ticket off-world came with strings indenture contracts that made medieval serfdom look generous. The draconian emperor's entourage arrived at 1,900 hours sharp. They moved like a storm system, scales gleaming with chromatic pigmentation that shifted based on emotional state, currently a regal purple indicating diplomatic neutrality. The emperor himself stood 3 meters tall, his consciousness distributed across both his biological brain and a quantum processor embedded in his chest cavity. His infant offspring, barely 2 solar months old, clung to a specialized harness on his back. Adem had served draconians before. They breathed a methane-oxygen mix, required temperatures at 310 Kelvin, and tipped exactly 12.7% based on algorithmic social protocol. No more, no less. Your table is prepared, your luminescence, Maya said, the station's hospitality AI projecting through hovering holoemitters. Her voice carried the calculated warmth of 1,000 focus groups. We've adjusted the atmospheric composition to your specifications. The Emperor nodded, his translator device rendering his electromagnetic speech into audible language. Adequate. Adam approached with the menu, a holographic display of molecular cuisine assembled by nanofabricators. The Draconians ordered synthesized noble gases infused with trace minerals from their homeworld's core. The infant made small, chirping sounds, its scales flickering between yellow and green curiosity mixed with discomfort. Then the alarm screamed. Hull breach, Sector 7G, Maya announced, her projection fragmenting with electromagnetic interference. Micrometeorite impact. Emergency bulkheads engaging in 30 seconds. The station lurched. Adam's magnetic boots held. But the Emperor's infant didn't have the same advantage. The harness clasped some exotic draconian alloy that human engineers had never quite understood, failed under the sudden acceleration. The infant tumbled toward the observation window. Adem didn't think. His body moved on instinct, shaped by Earth's 1G gravity wells and 18 months of 0G safety training he'd barely paid attention to. He kicked off, magnetic boots disengaging, and caught the infant mid-flight. The creature's scales burned at 340 Kelvin, hot enough to blister human skin. Pain receptors fired. His neural implants screamed warnings about second-degree burns. Adam gritted his teeth and held on. Emergency oxygen deployment, Maya's voice crackled. The infant was gasping methane oxygen mix, not human standard atmosphere. Adem's training kicked in. Table 47 still had the Emperor's atmospheric controls. He pushed off the window, cradling the burning infant, and slammed his hand on the emergency environment button. Methane hissed from the table's localized atmosphere generator. The infant's scales shifted to soft blue relief. Gratitude. It stopped struggling. The Emperor reached them in 1.3 seconds, moving faster than Adam thought possible. Massive claws capable of rending starship hulls gently extracted his offspring. The Emperor's scales had gone completely white, a color Adem had never seen documented in any xenobiology database. You burned yourself, the Emperor said, his electromagnetic voice carrying an undertone the translator couldn't quite capture. For my progeny. Adem looked at his hands. Blisters were forming where the infant's body heat had contacted skin. His neural implant was already releasing pain suppressors. Yes, your luminescence. It seemed like the thing to do. The Emperor's scales cycled through colors too quickly to track. His quantum processor was clearly running calculations at maximum capacity. When he finally spoke, his voice had changed less of the algorithmic precision, more of something raw. I have studied your species. The collective xenosociology department maintains comprehensive databases. Humans are categorized as resource competitive, tribalistic, prone to violence over abstract concepts. The Emperor's inner eyelids blinked a gesture of recalibration. Our predictive models suggested you would prioritize self-preservation. The probability of intervention was calculated at 3.7%. Your models need updating, Adam said, then immediately regretted his tone. You didn't talk back to Emperor-class beings. But the Emperor's scales had shifted to gold, a color that made Maya's hologram flicker with surprise. Indeed, our entire framework needs updating. The Emperor placed one massive claw on Adem's shoulder, careful not to apply pressure. Draconians achieve sentience through distributed consciousness. Our emotional architecture is governed by quantum entanglement. Love, loyalty, sacrifice are algorithmically optimized. We assumed this was universal among intelligent species. He looked at his infant, now cooing contentedly in his arms. But you acted without calculation. Your neural implant logs show no decision tree, no cost-benefit analysis. You simply chose to endure pain for a being not of your species, not of your homeworld, not even breathing the same atmosphere. The Emperor's scales pulsed. This is not optimization. This is something we believed extinct in the galaxy. What's that? Adem asked. Compassion without protocol. The station stabilized. Maya announced that repairs were underway, but the Emperor didn't move to leave. Instead, he transmitted something to his quantum network. Adem's neural implant picked up the data stream's edges. 3 days later, Adam's debt was cleared. Not reduced, cleared. All 280,000 Earth credits, plus a stipend for medical compensation that amounted to more money than his entire family lineage had earned. But more than that, the Draconian Collective issued a formal revision to human classification. Capacity for spontaneous altruism requires further study and respect. Adem never saw the Emperor again, but sometimes, when he looked at the stars through the observation deck, he wondered if one choice, one moment of not thinking but simply acting, could ripple across the galaxy. Maya's projection appeared beside him. The Emperor's infant sent you a message. It's unusual. The hologram displayed a simple image, a human hand, scarred but steady, holding a small dragon. The scales were gold,